come on, be honest. Have you ever had a Power BI report with underscore final in the file name, or final v2, or final v3? Yeah, me neither. But I mean, come on, we all know that guy, right? Well, now the May 2026 version of Power BI Desktop has a solution that will make that problem go away, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Well, let's face it, broadly speaking, there are basically three main options when it comes to versioning your Power BI reports. On one end of the spectrum, you've got that file saving and renaming that we just discussed, the final v3 option. And that can produce a lot of chaos. You never know which version is the latest one, or who made what changes where and why. When you publish a file to the Power BI service, it can create new URLs, and links and favorites can break. It can cause a lot of problems. And on the far other end of the spectrum, full-blown CI/CD with deployment pipelines and version diffing with red and green code that lights up showing exactly what's changed between two different versions. It offers a lot of great functionality, but it can also be a little intimidating for the novice developer. And it can also be a bit of a challenge to set it up if your enterprise doesn't offer that for you. So what we want is a Goldilocks middle where we can have the best of both worlds. We can have that versioning, see who made what changes, and the ability to roll back those changes if we need to, but without all of the added complexity and the overhead, and have a simpler topography without the steep learning curve. So in order to take advantage of this feature, you need three things. First of all, you need Power BI Desktop version May 2026 or later. Number two, you need to enable this feature. Currently it is a preview feature, and you need to check this Save to OneDrive and SharePoint option. It should be enabled by default, but you just want to make sure that it is turned on, and you might need to restart Power BI Desktop. And third, indicative of the name, you do need to save your pbix file to either OneDrive or SharePoint to take advantage of this feature. So once you've got your file in OneDrive or SharePoint and it's open in Power BI Desktop, how do we see our past versions? Well, all you got to do is come up here to the file name, click this drop down, and then hit this version history button here. And this will bring up a little dialog box with all of our version histories. You can see here that this top line is our current version. You see file sizes, when they were changed, and who last changed them. You can imagine that if you had a team of developers, this would be a nice thing. So you can go ask someone, hey, what did you change on such and such date? So let's say that I want to open up one of these previous versions. So all I have to do is just click on this line from a previous version, and it will proceed to download that file from OneDrive. It is downloading that file, so you might need to give it a second to open up, and it'll open up this new version in Power BI Desktop. So I've taken the liberty of putting this V14 version of our sales file on the right side and our current latest version over here on the left. And you can see here, if we look at the number of tabs, there is a new fourth tab, customers and commercial, down here on the bottom that is not in our latest version. So this is our new change from the previous version to the current version. One caveat to be aware of is that you kind of have to find the change for yourself here. So it does keep the different versions and allow you to get access to them, but it doesn't necessarily show you all the things that are different. For that, you might need a real Git solution. So for example, if you've got 100 DAX measures and somebody adds a new one or updates an existing one, finding that could be a bit of a challenge. So let's say that something changed between the old version and the new, something has broken, the customers really don't like this new version, and they want to roll back to the old version. Well, no worries, all I have to do is just come up here and hit the Save button, and then I can publish this report back up to the Power BI service. And in fact, if we click this drop down and go to our version history, now you'll see the old versions that were there, and you see now we've got this new version that is newly current. And if you look at the file size, this is the same as the version 14 that we had opened a moment ago. In fact, this is actually byte identical to this earlier version. It keeps all the old versions and just resurfaces the version that we had opened up to the top and restores that to the current live version for this file. let's talk for a minute about what this is and what this is not. This is a file snapshotting tool that is powered by OneDrive and SharePoint, and it lets you access snapshots of your pbix files on OneDrive or SharePoint so that you can access and restore old versions of those files. It is perfect for a solo developer or for a small team of developers where you might be interoperating on one another's reports. What this is not is a full-blown Git solution with branching and line level diffs and code merges, for example. It's not going to give you that red and green side-by-side code change between two different versions that you maybe have seen in, say, the Power BI deployment pipelines or in videos on ADO or GitHub. That is a really great solution and a little bit more difficult to get into and set up and maintain. But when you're ready for that, I've got a full video on it and you can see that right up here. And I will see you next time.